Hello guys, welcome back. So now that we are done discussing about breath control in great detail, let's move to the second fundamental requirement of making a good voice, and that is resonance. So what is resonance? You must be able to recall these words from your high school physics textbooks. So as most of you must be knowing that each object or a creature has a unique vibration or a frequency to them. Be it a water bottle or a piece of furniture or a tree or a house. Everything has a unique vibration or a frequency to it. Now when the vibration of one object happens to exactly match that of another object, that is when the resonance is created. And what resonance does is that it multiplies the frequency manifold times. It is no more just 1 plus 1 equals to 2. It does not just double itself because there are two objects with the same vibration, but it multiplies manifold times. You must have heard about the example of soldiers marching on a bridge and the bridge happened to collapse. So why did this happen? So what caused the bridge to break is resonance. So what happened there was that the marching of the soldiers created a particular frequency, and somehow it happened to exactly match the frequency of the bridge, and that's what created the frequency to multiply manifold times, and the bridge could not hold it anymore and it broke. You must have heard about numerous examples of Indian classical musicians singing a song, and when they reached a particular pitch while singing, the house in which they were singing, it happened to collapse. So exactly the same thing happened, that the pitch reached a particular frequency which happened to match exactly to the frequency of the house, and which led the house to crumble down. A very common example all of you must have heard about is that of opera singing. The singer here tries to hit a certain pitch to exactly match that of the glass which is kept on a platform. And we are amazed to see how the glass breaks when she hits a particular frequency. So what causes the glass to break is again, yes, resonance. So why are we discussing this resonance and what connection does it have with our voice production? To explain that, let me take the example of a guitar. So as all of you must be knowing, the guitar is a stringed instrument with 6 strings on its fretboard. And then you can see a wooden hollow structure which is attached below the fretboard. And there is a hollow circular opening to it. So now when we plug the strings, the air vibrates and causes a certain sound to be produced. But it is a very slight sound which might not be so audible to the ear as well. But now it enters through the circular opening on the hollow structure, and it enters that structure, and due to the resonance that is created by the sound getting amplified within that structure, we are able to hear the distinct texture to the voice which is so unique to the musical instrument guitar. So if you look closely, most of the string instruments have a hollow structure attached to it, and which causes the air to resonate within the hollow structure and gives the musical instrument its particular texture of sound. So now to relate it with our voice. So let's treat our head as the musical instrument or the hollow structure, because it has got several cavities throughout its structure. And what happens when the air causes the vocal folds to vibrate ever so slightly that we cannot hear the voice unless it gets to the cavities in our head, and it lets the air to vibrate in a certain way which gives the texture to our voice. And that is why every human being has a particular unique texture to their voice. So just to understand it in a little bit more detail, let's look at this image. As you can see, we have cavities in our nose area, then in the cheeks area, then there is the oral cavity, then there are cavities in our forehead, under our eyes and beside our ears. So all these cavities allow the air that is coming from our throat, vibrating from our vocal cords. It has a certain sound to it, but it gets resonated within these cavities and gives the particular texture that is so unique to us. So that was quite a long discussion about resonance. So let's not delay any further, but move to the next video where we will be discussing how to manipulate our voice in a certain way to achieve the texture that we want while talking and singing. See you there.